Hello everyone. Thanks for joining us. We'll be starting in about 5 minutes time. Just waiting for people to join or give the chance to people to join. If today is your first time joining us, please invite everyone that you know to join us either on YouTube or LinkedIn, and we'll be starting shortly. Thank you. Hello everyone. Yes, so we'll be starting in 5 minutes time. Please do get invite everyone that needs to be on this to join, and also don't forget to introduce yourself and where you're joining us from today.
Hello, everyone. We're about to start, so thank you all for joining. Um, if today is your first day, my name is F1 Ponsa, and I'm going to be your host today. And I have with me today Gerald Munetsi, who, yeah, glad I got the name right. Thank you all for joining. This is changing the narrative. If today is your first time, what we do is we basically invite people on. I've had different guests throughout the years that we've been hosting this. It's basically people that have gone through the journey or taken the journey of international schooling, either with scholarship, fully funded or funded, and for them to share their journey to not just to prove what they've achieved, but to encourage others out there who are looking for opportunities to study abroad. If you look on my page, I do share a lot of opportunities. So thank you all very much. If you know anybody that can, um, that can that would be able to listen in, and this will be a benefit to them or can benefit from this event. Please do share. We're on YouTube as well, so they don't have to be on LinkedIn. You can rewatch it on YouTube and watch our other conversations with guests that we've invited over the years, and I know it's going to help you. My name is Efon Ponsa. Once again, I'm here with our guest Gerald Munitsi. So Gerald, usually I get my guests to introduce themselves because I believe they would do better than me reading a script. So kindly tell us who Gerald is. Thank you.
More into infectious diseases and data science. So these are the key areas that I am focusing here at Cambridge University.
Thank you very much for the introduction. It was brief, but it was good. Yeah, you're from Zimbabwe, right?
Yes.
Good. That's nice. So, Gerald, once again, or first of all, thank you for accepting the invitation and the willingness to come and share your journey with us. I know you're in the middle of your dissertation, so we're going to try and keep this as brief and short as possible. And apologies for the late start. I literally just arrived from my travel, so apologies for that. I'm usually on time, but sometimes things happens which is outside our control. So thank you all very much. So without wasting much more time, Gerald, Cambridge and Mastercard. First of all, again, congratulations. Those are two really massive opportunities and achievements as well. Because I know Mastercard is very competitive. Not to talk of being in Cambridge. That just tells me you're a very smart guy, and also the fact that you've been able to um, go through your education to now be on the dissertation side, which means you're almost wrapping up as well. So again, congratulations on that as well, and all that you've achieved. So can we go into how you started off with Mastercard, and then we will go to Cambridge. So if you can just tell us a bit about your Mastercard journey.
Thank you, Afua. Um, so the journey to Cambridge was not smooth, to be honest. So basically, when I finished my undergraduate, I thought, let me do a master's. But I didn't even know about Mastercard or Chevening or other scholarships. Uh, so basically, the plan was not actually to come to Cambridge or Oxford. I didn't even have those kind of dreams. But there are certain events that happened for me to actually reach here in Cambridge. So before Cambridge, I was just applying everywhere. So the idea was just, let me just go out of Zimbabwe. So I wasn't even thinking of Cambridge or Oxford. So the idea was just get out of Zimbabwe and find something. So I was applying almost everywhere, and I was getting a lot of rejections, a lot of rejections. I applied for different scholarships to no success. And there was this time I actually applied to the University of Edinburgh, and I thought I did well in the interview, only to find that it was a rejection. So this was actually a very hard time for me at that time. But I realized that there was something wrong. There was something that I was actually doing wrong in terms of my applications, because I was just applying everywhere, everywhere. So now I really sat down and tried to find where was the challenge. I discovered that I didn't really know what is a competitive profile, or what makes you become competitive among millions of people that are actually applying for the same opportunity. So I also realized that I needed to have a community that will actually help me in this process, because the process was not easy. So I started building a community. So I even started with my undergraduate supervisor to help me to know the scholarships that are even available. You understand? Because sometimes I would even waste time applying to a school. Then when you get an offer, you don't get funding. So it was basically a waste of time. So I started building a very strong community that would help me in my applications. I reached out to scholars from Oxford, from Cambridge. I presented the challenges that I wanted to solve and how they could actually help me. So I broadened my community, and I was not afraid to reach out to even prominent people to ask for reviews, to review my applications. And I was so privileged enough, because I actually got people who would actually tell me that, you know what, your CV is actually really bad, like being honest with me, to say this is really bad. Then they will actually help me. So uh, when I was so sure that now I have a competitive profile, I said I'm not going to apply to any scholarship now or any university now. So I went to just two universities, which was University of Oxford and University of Cambridge. Then, to my surprise, I actually got a scholarship to Oxford and Cambridge. So basically, it was more of bouncing higher, because I really knew that I now have a very competitive and a tailored, applications. So the journey to Cambridge, to Mastercard, was not easy, but I've actually learned three important things in terms of the application process to, at least for Mastercard, that I know. There are three things that are very important. The first thing is academic excellence. That's the first important thing, because whoever is going to invest in you should be sure that you are going to excel academically. And this is demonstrated through your
Sorry
grades.
to cut you, Gerald. Before we get there, I'm trying to sort of process what you've just said. So you You didn't know what you were doing. You're basically just applying for applying sake,
Yeah.
which is which is fair. I'm not here to judge, but I know that people just like you said, you just wanted to leave Zimbabwe, so you were just applying for anything, which is fair again. And then you you got the rejection, and then you were getting admissions, but there was no funding. Again, that is also very frustrating. But then when you actually seeked help and became more focused on polishing your CV and knowing what you wanted to do, you got offers from, not just offers but funding as well, with Oxford and Cambridge. That is a very inspiring journey, and I can't wait to delve into more of that. So before um let's go back to your story, right? So what made you want to get the help? Like
Okay.
at what point did you think, okay, maybe there's something that I'm doing wrong, so I need to get the community, like you said? At what point? Is it when you had become fed up with everything? Do you get where I'm coming from? Like, at what point did you say, okay, this there is something that I must be doing wrong? And how were you able to master that courage to actually seek the help?
Okay. Um, so actually, I applied. There's 2024. I applied um, with my friend. So, but my friend was more into, you know, reaching up to people and stuff. I was more of doing things my own way. So this was my very close friend, and he actually got a scholarship in Oxford, and I was still getting rejections from other universities. So that's where I realized, and I was also tired of just applying. The frustration. Sometimes you actually, you have to pay for these application fees. Those kind of things. So I had to really think to find the real root cause of what's really happening. So this actually made me to actually reach out to people to say, what am I doing wrong? I reach out to scholars who actually walked through this path to say, what am I doing wrong? So I was so honest with them to say, I don't know what's happening. So they started to help, throughout the journey.
Wow, one, I commend you for that, because not a lot of people actually take that back step to say, okay, now I need help. So for you to even, and it also shows how much you really wanted this, because some people would have just given up, and just say, if I'm not getting it, I'm not getting it. But for you to have step back and try to find people that have walked the path, and people that could have helped, is really commendable. It speaks a lot about the person that you are, and I'm happy that you took that step. So if you're listening to us and you're going through this journey by yourself, please do find minded individuals, people that have either gone through or followed that path, or people that would be honest with reviewing your CV, reviewing your SOP or motivational letters and documentations that you need in applying. Because sometimes the way you see it is not how you could be missing out on stuff. And when you have other people with you, it make that journey slightly bearable, because whenever you feel like giving up, there are people to encourage you, especially if it's the right people. So do not do it alone. It can be daunting, this journey. So don't do it alone. Look for community, look for those that have your best interest at heart, and trust me, it will lighten the whole process for you. Okay, so Thank you, Gerald. If you're joining us, please do comment where you're listening or joining from. We're on YouTube and on LinkedIn. So now you realize that this was what it was. It was your CV and how you were writing stuff. What was it about your CV, and what changes did you make? And also, if there was anything with your SOPs and that, what was it about, or what did they say it was, and what changes did you make for you to have been able to not just get into Oxford but in Cambridge as well?
Yeah. So in terms of the SOPs, it was more of really articulating what I really wanna do and the impact that I want to do, and just showing, you know, potential. So basically, remember, with an SOP, maybe it's 500 words, but you really need to convey uh, these three things of the potential that you are going to show, as well as your research or the problem that you want to solve. How is it going to help the community? Is it not just about you? It should be about the society. It should help someone. So they actually help me to say, if someone reads your SOP in 3 minutes, they should get, an answer or the reason why you want this thing, and really showing why these things matter to you, and you are actually willing and you have the potential to actually succeed.
Right. And what was it about your CV that you changed?
So my CV was more of, um, I had, for me, I didn't have experience, but so it meant that I would just write something, a CV that really doesn't, it's not competitive, but they actually helped me to put in, volunteering experiences that I had, community experiences, things that I forgot, like things that I didn't think of to be, important, but they were actually showing me to say, it's not about just putting things, but it's about showing what you did, how it actually helped you. So they actually helped me through the whole CV, and just aligning it. But I didn't even have experience, no publication, nothing, to be honest. It was just an internship. For me, it was an internship, then a lot of course, volunteering, a lot of leadership position during my undergrads. So I had to put them and just show what I did, the small contributions, small impact that I did in Zimbabwe. So that's how we actually structured my CV.
Wow, that's impressive. So again, if you're listening to us and then you feel you have to know it or have it all, this here, with our guest, Gerard, he's living proof that sometimes it's just how you tell your story, and how you also present your story. So at the end of the day, it's not about having the best grades or having so much to write. Volunteering, again, I'm not here to to talk too much about volunteering, but I always tell people, right, you cannot volunteer and lose out. If you're losing out, then there's something that you're not quite getting right. You can't volunteer and lose out. I've done a lot of volunteer and I still do volunteer. And every time I volunteer, it's not just about me giving back, or the fact that I feel like I'm just doing this from the goodness of my heart. No, apart from the lives that you are impacting, right, you sharpen certain skills that you didn't even think you had. Confidence, leadership, being able to be proactive, because every decision that you make is affecting another person's life. Being able to overcome your fears. It's There's so many things out there, and how you articulate it as well is how is going to help you. And also, don't think volunteering is just you giving your free time. Make sure when you do, you actually put yourself into it. like put your heart and pour your heart and soul into it, that's where you will get the benefit, or you will reap the benefit of volunteering. Again, I'm not here to preach about volunteering, so I'll leave it there. But every guest that has come on here has mentioned volunteering, which means there is that positivity about it, right? So we're still walking through your journey. I'm very very inspired by your journey. I mean, um, from the seeking of help, it's just the fact that you were able to get into two Ivy League schools, right? um, from all the rejections to two Ivy League schools. So now you said you didn't know about any scholarships even or Chevening or anything. So can you mention some of the scholarships that you applied to that you got rejected, and how you then got into Mastercard, or yeah, how you got into Mastercard?
Okay, so I've applied to certain scholarships. I think there's Bait scholarship, and I've also applied to partial scholarships. There are universities, especially in the United States, where you apply for, they'll give you like partial, then you get a loan. So my thinking was also to get a loan, then cover the other part. So that was another route until I was introduced to Mastercard and what they do in terms of not just giving you money. It's not just about money. There's a lot that comes after joining Mastercard. There's a community that helps you. So I really also was so particular in choosing a scholarship because I needed a scholarship that will actually help me even when I'm here in Cambridge. Like right now, there is Mastercard scholarship office. If things get hard right now, I'll just go and cry there. That's it. So those are the kind of scholarship that I really wanted, where you know that you have a community that will actually help you wherever you are.
That's great. So I've I I've read on Mastercard, and I know a few people that have actually gotten Mastercard. So I know how lucrative it is. You get the laptops like you've got nothing to worry about. So I know how good it is. So when you started your Mastercard journey, was it, because I know some universities like Cambridge has Mastercard Cambridge together. So when you apply to Cambridge, you choose to say you're coming you're applying through Mastercard. Is that what you did, or did you apply to Cambridge and then later on applied for the scholarship from Mastercard? Did you do the joint Mastercard Cambridge route, or did you do it separate?
So it was separate. I had to apply for Cambridge, and in Cambridge we just call it Mastercard. Then in Oxford they call it AFOX. They call it AFOX, but it's also still under Mastercard. So basically, of course the application process is quite kind of different. For example, in Oxford, after getting an admission, they will actually invite you to do an interview, a Fox interview. Then with Mastercard, once you actually get the admission, you are automatically considered for a scholarship. So with Mastercard, from the knowledge that I know, they don't have interviews for University of Cambridge, but you actually have an interview with the admissions.
Okay, that's good. So um now let's move to during your application to Mastercard and Cambridge, and then because you got into Cambridge, we will brush through Oxford every now and again, but the focus would be on Cambridge because that's where you got it. Um, thank you. Is it? I'm probably going to butcher your name, but I apologize in advance for that. Musoki Tauria. hopefully that's how you pronounce it, from Zimbabwean joining from Algeria. Thanks for joining. That's the only one that I can see now that has introduced themselves. So those are online. Please introduce yourself and where you're listening from. I know there are people online because I can see the number. But yeah, please put not just where you're coming from. If you've got any questions as you're listening as well, if you're enjoying it, keep the comments coming. And then if there are any questions, I'm sure Gerald will be willing to answer it later on. So, when you were applying to the Cambridge and the Mastercard, what were the did you find it difficult, or was it because now your CV was intact, and your SOP was much better now that you were able to get it, or what was it like? Yeah, tell us how it was like with the whole process.
Okay, so I think the process for the application is straightforward. Um, I think, let's say for Mastercard, for Cambridge Mastercard, you just need to fill the application process, but it became very easy because I was now confident and really know what is needed. So that's the most important thing. Before you even start applying, you need to write down, the requirements and what to expect in advance, and so that you don't even miss the deadlines, you know what to put, the word limits and everything. So if you really know, you have that information, the application process will be very easy. And they also give, the guidance on all the steps that you actually really need to do.
Did you have any mentor during this point in time, or did you do your own research and did all the application by yourself?
So like I said, I didn't have a mentor. I actually had the community that would actually help me. So I had like 4 or 5 people who were also working on this. So I had like 2 people from Cambridge, then one person from Oxford. Then I also had my supervisor, my undergraduate supervisor. I was still in contact with him, because I created a long relationship with them. So these were the people that will actually help me, and also, just also checking on LinkedIn how people do things, that actually really really helped me through this process.
So I'm going to ask you a personal question. You don't have to answer it. Did you graduate with a first class? Um, that's the first question. You did.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, because the reason why I asked and I said if you don't want to answer it is because a lot of it was going to feed into my next question as to, because some people think it's just the grades that helps people through
Mm,
these opportunities. But you mentioned earlier that even with a first class, you were still getting rejections. So
mm,
it's to tell you guys that it's not about the first class. You could get a first class and your application will still be rejected, and a second class lower, 2-2, would be given the opportunity because of how they've portrayed themselves, the challenges that they've overcome, and how they've written and put their best self forward. Because at the end of the day, if all you have is your grade, it doesn't really make you competitive. Some people might not have had a first class, but they've gone through challenges, and those challenges have not let them giving up in life. And that's something that these people want to see when they're offering scholarships. So it's not always about your grade. I mean, do work hard to get the grades, but it's not always about the grades, right? So you're doing MPhil.
yes, an MPhil in population health science.
Okay, and you did do some sort of projects before you can you talk a little bit about the project, and also why MPhil?
Um, so I didn't do much of uh, projects before Cambridge, uh, but I actually had some sort of optional courses that I did from the uh, University of Zimbabwe. So basically, these courses were not part of my program, but I actually did them and actually paid for these courses so that I can have experience in terms of the things that I want to do from my MPhil. And also the MPhil, it's more of basically research. So I wanted to have skills in research, in infectious diseases. So that's why I really applied for an MPhil, not really a master's at Oxford.
All right, okay, fair enough. And that's for the same as Cambridge as well. You
Yeah.
applied to, yeah. Okay. So did was there any I'm trying to rephrase the question. It makes sense in my head, but we'll come back to that. Have you always wanted to do this subject or this program?
Yeah. So I didn't know like I said, I didn't know the university that I really wanted to be in, but I was so sure because the reason what actually informed me to be in infectious diseases was during COVID-19. So, the pandemic, we actually, lost a lot of people, relatives and stuff. That's where this idea of, okay, let me actually contribute in terms of, preventing diseases. That's where the motivation and what actually informed my decision to actually look for programs that are related to health. So this was more of, you know, driven by experiences that we have lived. And my background is actually in mathematics. So someone would actually ask me to say, how now you are in health and you did, applied mathematics.
Actually, yes, I would. That would be my next question. So you can talk about it as well. How do you move from maths to science? Like yeah, tell us more about that if that's okay.
Yeah. So when I did my when I was doing my undergrads, I think year three, I actually really need to sit down to say, okay, if I'm going to finish this program, how am I going to apply it in the real world? How am I going to apply the skills that I've gained into the real world? So I started to do my research. I started to find out how people are using, mathematics, statistics to solve, real world, like global challenges. That's where I came out across infectious diseases, how you model diseases to predict how many people are going to be infected at a certain period of time. So it was more of, you know, uh, tailoring my skills to a specific field that I would actually contribute.
That is impressive. That is impressive. Wow. Every guest that I come that I invite sort of have a way of impressing me, and it keeps getting better and better. I
I
don't know
can't hear you now.
how about now?
Yeah, great.
Think that was was still, yeah. So yes, I'm saying that is very impressive. Every guest that I invite has a way of impressing me, and it keeps getting better and better and better. So yeah, from I mean you it's when people change trajectory, there's always a personal reason to it. And I mean, you've got your reasons for. Are you enjoying the course though? Or do you feel like you've made the right decision?
Yes, I'm really enjoying the course. Of course, it's intense, but it's rewarding. I get a lot of support because here, when you are in Cambridge, they make sure that you have all the support, and academically, maybe career-wise, every every you know every step of your life you have support. You have different mentors. I have like 10 or 7 mentors from different aspects, college, academics. So you actually get all the support. So to be honest with you, I really enjoy what I do.
That's good to hear. Right, so let's see the comment section again, just to give you a little bit of break, and then we'll come back to where we left off. Right, so Anthony, we have Anthony. What did Anthony? So Anthony says, Anthony from Ghana. Hello, Anthony. Some love for. Good to have you here. So Anthony is asking, is academic referees more preferred than professional referees? That's one question. He has got two questions. So when you answer this question, then I'll go to the next one.
Okay. Thanks, Anthony. So with references, I think if you're applying to universities, I would recommend you to put academic uh, referees, because these are the people that actually know you personally. So in terms of universities, I would prefer, choosing academic referees, and they actually need to put out a very strong, reference letter, a very strong one, showing your relationship with them.
And the second is, how did you prepare for your interview during the application process?
Okay, so for the interview, once you are called for the interview, it means they like you. They've seen your work. So basically, they just want to see you and just confirm, what you said is true, and you can say it and articulate it in maybe less than 5 minutes. So basically, you are not reinventing the wheel. You are just saying what you wrote on your POS, and you actually tell them those stories, impactful stories of you maybe having challenges, but despite those challenges you actually succeeded. So those are the kind of things that they want. So the interview, it's more of, let's see you and just confirm that what you said is on paper is actually you.
And yes, that is rightfully so, because I know people get other people to write their SOPs for them. So if it's not you, you will go to the interview and you would mess up. And they know these things happen, so hence why they call people in for interviews, and they want to know the authenticity in your story. Because if it's your story, you wouldn't have any, the way you tell it, your emotions, your body language, and everything will let them know. And hence why I keep telling people, don't lie on your CV or your SOP. It's not worth it. Because at the end of the day, you're not doing yourself any good. So yeah. um if you know your SOPs inside out, or your motivational letters inside out, and even your CVs inside out, there's no reason why you won't be able to ace your interviews. And also sometimes your nerves could get in the way, so try and control your nerves and get people to interview you before you go. Get people to interview you, and not just any people that would probably have a background in interviewing skills, that will be honest with you. They'll give you honest feedback. Um, practice your answers in the mirror. There are loads of YouTube videos out there that can help you. with how to ace your interviews. And most of the time, interviews, regardless of what it is, there's certain skills, interviewing skills that you can apply to any other interviewing skills, other any other interview. It doesn't have to be a specific one, but with the international scholarships opportunities, there are loads of YouTube videos out there that actually talks about most of the popular ones. So I would say, if in doubt, have a look at those ones. On LinkedIn, there are loads of profiles that actually talk about it. Dr. Banda, um, there is oh, the names have gone. I can see their faces, but the names have gone. But Dr. Banda just springs out. But yeah, they're there. If you look on LinkedIn, there's loads of them. There's this Nigerian guy who's also really good. Um, Again, their faces are here, the names are gone, but just have a look on LinkedIn. There are loads of people and information on there, and even on YouTube as well, to help you out. And like Gerald said, build a community. When you search on LinkedIn, look for people that are scholars of the school that you want, the program that you're looking for, the scholarship or, providers that you're looking for. There are loads of scholars out there that are willing to help out. So please look out for them, and ask them for help. But as you're asking for help too, don't waste their time. Go straight to the point. Let them know where you're stuck so they can offer you tailored advice and help. Yeah. So thanks, Anthony, for your question. So yeah, if you got any questions, please do put it in there, and then we'll be um, willing to get our guest to answer it. Right. So the next one is, so you've always known the program you wanted to do,
Yes.
but not the schools.
Mm.
So why Cambridge and Oxford? Was it to prove a point, or
So no, no. Uh, I only tried to apply to Cambridge and Oxford when I knew that now I have a competitive profile. So I was now no longer going for other schools. I was now targeting University of Cambridge and Oxford, because I have been talking to people from Oxford and Cambridge, and they actually give you the motivation to say, you know what, go for it, go for it. So that's how I ended up applying for only Oxford and Cambridge, to be specific.
and you got both?
Yeah.
So why did you settle for Cambridge? What is so special about Cambridge?
So so I don't want to make it a debate, but it's more for me. It was more of some courses that were not offered at Oxford that I really wanted to have, especially in terms of machine learning. So the course was more narrower than the one that I'm doing. The one that I'm doing is more wider. So that's why I actually just chose this course MPhil in at Cambridge. We can't hear you.
Because I was on mute, right? So yeah, those schools are, or universities are, the best when you come to the UK and even in the world as well. So yeah, congratulations on that once again. So when you applied for the Mastercard and you got it, no, actually, let's go back. You mentioned that because you realized that you've got a competitive profile, you decided to just go all in or all out with Cambridge and Oxford. What made you have that confidence that you now have a competitive profile?
Yeah. So at at the point where I was now doing applications to Cambridge and Oxford, I would actually get mock interviews with scholars from Cambridge and Oxford. Then I would actually get feedback, and most of the feedback was uh, not really bad, and it was more of just tailoring a little bit. So that's where I realized to say, okay, let me just, the profile is now there. There's just need of just tweaking few things. Then I just did that, and I went to apply to Cambridge and Oxford.
I like that confidence though. It's just the boost of confidence. I felt my profile was competitive, so why not go for the best? I love that attitude, and I mean you put in the work as well, so why not? So now you have. Did you get Mastercard first, and then the application or the acceptance from Cambridge, or it was Cambridge and then Mastercard?
So the application for for Cambridge is you, the application for Mastercard will be on the same application
Yeah.
with Cambridge, but the first thing is to actually just get into Cambridge. Then from there, a decision will also be made by Mastercard. So you can actually get, let's say, an admission. Then you don't get a scholarship, but most of the time when you actually get uh, admissions from the University of Cambridge, there are chances that you can get a scholarship, because these two parties, they kind of like work together.
Yes, so I do know people that have gotten applications to the school, but not to the funding. Funny enough, yeah. So sometimes you just have to know this so that you're not in shock. I know people that have been able to get the offers, and I also know people the other way. They got the
Yeah, yeah,
funding, but the school rejected them. So
yeah, yeah,
what you want is both of them. And yeah. So I've got a question from Musoki. Again, if I've mispronounced it, pardon me. The scholarship emphasizes a commitment to giving back. During the selection process, taking volunteering as evidence, do reviewers look for those indicators tailored to your specific field of application, or they want an all-rounder? Do
yeah.
you get the
So
question?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, um, of course, the impact is should be more tailored to what you want to do. It's very difficult to give a generic, let's say, experience and try to, to make it more appealing to them. So it should be more of what you want to do than just generic. So you need to be choose specific, leadership positions or roles that you actually, made impact in the community, and beyond.
Yes, so I support that. Whenever you're going to volunteer, right? Let's say, for example, with AAA, I'm speaking from how I run my foundation. When people join, it's not just about joining anything. We have different projects, so we encourage people to volunteer towards that project that they will benefit from, or that is close home or close to their heart, because that's the only way you can actually get something out of volunteering. So it's not just about volunteering, right? It is one, what do you bring to the table of volunteering? If you've got let's say you have a background in engineering, for example, or ICT, or any project like that, and you're looking for a leadership position, there's no point you volunteering to be a social media manager. You won't be able to make that impact there, even though your volunteering is got nothing to do with what you're doing. However, if you volunteer and then you're looking for where your leadership will shine, the course that you're reading would also benefit you, because then you can put your skills to the test. And then when you're writing your SOPs and all these motivational letters and whatnot, you can say that you used your skills in so and so scenarios, and this was the impact or the outcome, and this has made you. So is the star approach, the situation, the task, and then the results. So you need to always have that in mind. But even if that position is not there for you in that organization, what stops you from creating it,
Mm.
or telling whoever is the lead if that can be created for you? Because sometimes what they also want to see is your proactiveness, and that is a leadership skill. You came to the organization, this was lacking, this was what you proposed, and this is the aftermath or the impact that was. So don't always limit yourself on what you can do with volunteering. Like I'm saying, it's one of the best thing ever. And if you don't find an organization that does what you want to do, you don't have to fund or be a founder or anything. Look for a community. Do it as an individual. That is also being proactive. That is you being a leader, and what is it? Giving back to your community. It can be amongst your friends, actually, a classroom, in your school. Think outside the box. If you're just looking for organization, or everybody's looking for an organization, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur and be a founder. We don't all have to be it. It's actually a headache if you don't know.
Yeah.
Trying to run an organization is not a child's play. So just look amongst yourself, partner, collaborate with existing ones, and create that for yourself. Like I'm saying, if that is not that project or whatever it is that you want to do is not there, create it and find somebody to collaborate with. So yeah, don't we don't always have to complicate all of this. So Musoki, I hope your question has been answered. And Gerald, I don't know if there's anything else you want to add to that. Okay, so let's come on to the benefits of Mastercard. I know it's fully funded, but can you take your time and actually tell us all the benefits from being a Mastercard scholar?
Okay, so yeah, like it's fully funded. In they pay your tuition, and they give you a stipend, which is competitive, which is good. They also, when you come to Cambridge, they also give you a brand new laptop, a good one. Then they also give you settling allowance, so that you can move around Cambridge. Then they also have events like almost like every week, or every month. They have events where we meet. We meet with people. We meet with people who are entrepreneurs, people who are doing well. So they have many events. They also have retreats events where you go and enjoy. Sometime you go and free yourselves from the pressures of Cambridge. And the most important thing that I like is uh, the dinners, where where we actually gather, we enjoy ourselves. So there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot. And with Cambridge, like I said, there are scholarships that are there, that I'm not going to name them, but when they just give you money, then that's it. That's it. But with Mastercard, you know that you have a family, the office. When you have a challenge, you go there. If you need support, you go there. And also there are people who actually like have children back home. So during our breaks, they will actually pay your tickets to go and see your children, and you actually come back. So these are some of the benefits that you get.
Wow, that sounds amazing because like you said, some scholarships they just give you the money and then you have to figure the rest out by yourself.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
the fact that Mastercard is actually being there for you throughout your journey, it's quite a good one. Brand
yeah.
new
I
laptop,
remember.
and I
Yeah,
hear it's Mac as well. It's not just any laptop; it's actually Mac.
no, no, no. It's not Mac. It's Dell. For
Is there?
Cambridge,
Okay,
yeah, Cambridge is Dell.
okay. Some. I know people that got Mac.
Yeah, I don't know, but
Mm,
my cohort, I think maybe it's different for cohorts, but my
mm,
cohort, we got Dells, but these Dells, they are really good, like really
yeah.
good, unless you are doing heavy stuff or something like that. But they
It's a
are
free
really
laptop.
good.
It's a new laptop. I mean, you can't complain.
Yeah, you can't complain, and besides a new laptop and a settling allowance, so
Mm.
I mean
All
it's
you have
good
to
if.
do is focus on your education. That's good.
Yeah, and probably maybe control your lifestyle. But even
Yeah.
if you have, a flashy lifestyle, you still
Mm.
enjoy Cambridge with the money that that you get.
That's good. That's good. So,
Yeah.
hey, folks, if you're listening and you've not looked into Mastercard, please do. Um, We will have another Mastercard scholar coming up. I don't have the date yet, but she's in Edinburgh University. Um, we bring her on later on so that she can actually we will just focus on what Mastercard is looking for and how to put your best foot forward or submit a competitive application. So yeah, Mastercard is one of the best out there as well. When it comes to um, scholarships that actually gives you a community to belong to, and you have a lot of alumni as well that is part of the community, and they're there to help you when you do get it. So yeah, right. So now you've you've received your your acceptance for school and scholarship. Did Mastercard also help you with your visa application?
Uh, so with the application, they help in terms of paying those amounts, like the visa, the health sausage. Then if you need help in terms of the process of application, by that time you'll be in groups where you meet with other scholars to discuss how they're actually applying. So there's when you reach that stage, things will be now smooth that time.
That's good to hear. Did you have to write the English test? Because some people have to write the English test, but I think it's more school related or course related than Mastercard. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
so it's a requirement by the university. So this one is actually a very important thing, because I've seen people who actually got into Cambridge and got the scholarship, but didn't get the English test, and their their offer was rejected, the Mastercard offer. I know people.
Is really bad that I'm laughing, but you know what? The I'm not laughing in terms of viciousness, but it's how frustrating that process can be. It's not because you don't
Exactly,
know how to write or speak English. It's what
exactly.
it is that they're looking for. And you have to score a specific number or
Mm.
point on specific, like either the speaking, the writing, or whatnot. And it can be daunting. I'm I laugh about a lot of things, but it's not it's not because it's just one of those things that frustrates people
Mm,
when it comes to all these applications. Like everything is done, and then those that IELTS, whatever it's called these days, can
mm,
frustrate you. I know
mm,
people again that have had to take it so many times, and it's not because they don't speak English or they don't know how to write it. It's just because of what they're looking for, or the scores that you have to have before the university can accept you. So again, this is so that you know that when you're going through this journey, right, it's not just about your SOP. It's not even just about the applications for the scholarship or the universities or the course that you want to do. The English test can be frustrating, visa interviews can be frustrating, and even sometimes when it comes to shortlisting, right, you've gone through everything and somebody will just beat you with a zero point 0.5 marks, for example, and that means you don't make it for that cohort, and you might have to start the whole journey again. So just having a community, like Gerald said, from the beginning, it helps you. One, it builds your confidence. When you hear about other people's stories, it lets you know that you're not alone. You're not the one at fault, and this is something that can happen, and it happens to a lot of people. So don't do it in isolation. Find people like Gerald and talk to them. Let them help you out. But then again, also be ready to put in the work, right? I can't say this enough. Be ready to put in the work. Don't be lazy about your application. It just shows that you don't really need it. And people that have come to me and I've realized that they don't really want it. They saying they want it, but they're not showing it. I just back off, because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna come and be stressing about your application for you. It's your responsibility. So when you do get that community, when you do get that person that wants to do it with you, please do apply yourself. Okay, they're there to help you. So do not let them down. Right. So Gerald, I've got two more questions for you. I promise, and then we can wrap up. So now you're in the UK. How are you finding UK? How are you finding Cambridge? Um, it's Cambridge what it's all cut out to be. Are they? Is it? Do you still have breathing room to actually have fun and enjoy life, or is just assignment, assignment, assignment throughout?
yeah. So Cambridge has been, you know, enjoyable and also intense. So it's more of a balance between, you know, having also a social life and also the academics. But there are times where you are actually, you know, free and you do your things. And also depends with the course. Some courses are very intense and some they are flexible. But for me, it has been more of connecting with people, you know, meeting with people, moving around, conferences, you know, those kind of things. So yeah, it has been intense and rewarding. So like, you know, last year around October, November, that was, you know, winter. Uh, Now it's summer, so you know we are enjoying. So I think Cambridge is good. I would recommend, you know, everyone to come to Cambridge.
To Cambridge, nice, nice. I mean, why not? If so far as you have a competitive profile, you never know. Never say never. Yeah, and I mean summer is good at the moment. Yeah, I think we last week we actually experienced the highs of 33.
Mm.
So yeah, it was really hot. So
Yeah,
summer
yeah,
is
yeah.
good. Even in Scotland, we're actually experiencing summer, which is good. It's not rain, and I hope it stays like that. Yeah. So right, wholeheartedly, right.
Mm.
If you're to talk to someone who feels like giving up, who feels like they're not good enough, who feels this journey is daunting, is frustrating, and cannot be asked, wholeheartedly encourage and advise them.
Okay, so This journey, you don't walk it alone, and you have people who can support you that are there. So the best thing that you can do is to create, a community that will help you, because when you get help, it makes the path, or the path easier to move, because some of the things that you are supposed to, gather information alone, you can just get it from someone, for free, for free. So my advice is, never walk alone. You have, triple A, Afua always, send a lot of, post opportunities. you know those are the people that you just need to talk to, and you never know. One day, you'll be in Cambridge, one day you'll be in Oxford, one day you'll be in Edinburgh. So my advice is always, don't walk alone. There are people who are there to help you, like scholars from, let's say, Oxford or Cambridge. They really want to help people, trust me, because they know the journey, they know the struggle. But it comes to now, when you approach them, you actually have something. You can't just come and say, I want to have a scholarship. You need to actually have something, to show that their time is worthy, investing in you.
Thank you very much. That is a great advice. Yeah, don't do it alone. And again, I think people that have been with changing the narrative knows about it. Even sometimes the guest that comes on, a lot of people approach them and they help. Like you've said, there are people out there that wants to help, but you have to you have to make it worth their time because everybody's busy with something. I'll share one quick. So this is, I think we had that in that conversation last year, and throughout the year I had a lot asking questions. It was the Ireland asking questions and asking questions. We had one person also back ask and say thank you to guests that came on, and we're going to have a station again, just to also let people know that the Ireland scholarship, government scholarship, is still ongoing, and they can still apply, and if they need any support. So there are people there that wants to support, but just make it worth their time and actively look. It won't come to you just by you just being there. Actively look, actively, like, if this is really what you want to do, be active in searching for those opportunities and people around that can help you. I'm always willing to support. Gerard has said that he's also willing to support. There are millions of people out there on LinkedIn that wants to support, but it, the the responsibility is on you. I can't, or we can't actually say any other way. Yeah, even if God is going to help you, it's on you to ask him for the help, and also what it is you have in your hands for him to use to help you. So just be of with that, and if you don't give up, chances are you would definitely get it. Right. So Gerald, wrapping up, what has been your best moment with this journey in seeking the opportunities for international studies? What has been your best moment and what has been your worst? And then we can use that to wrap up.
Yeah. So, I'll start with the best. Of course, the best will be actually getting an offer after, having like 10 or 20 rejections. So that was something, that I cherish the most. Then, the West will be the inverse, applying for, a lot of universities, and, getting rejections, and, spending a lot of money, a lot of time. So, that would be I mean, the time that I feel like it was more of a challenging time, and I embraced it, and uh, now I'm in Cambridge.
That's short and sweet. Thank you very much. So yes, I hope you've all enjoyed this conversation with Gerald. Look into these scholarship opportunities. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Keep trying until you actually get that yes. There are loads of opportunities out there. Don't beat yourself up. If your application is rejected, it is not you as the individual that is being rejected, it's the application. Like Gerald said, he realized that his CV needed amended, his SOP needed rewriting. There's a lot of work that he had to do with the application, not him as an individual, right? So I always say this, it's not you as the person. It's difficult to separate yourself from your application, but at the end of the day, whenever that rejection comes, sit back, review yourself. What could you have done better? If you really feel that was your best, sometimes it's just not your time. Sometimes it just could be that whoever read it probably was having a bad day. How would you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there's a lot. Some people do have bad days and take it on the application on the applicant. So
yeah,
you know what? Don't beat yourself up. Just keep going, keep improving. And I always tell people also that if you miss this year's application, you've always got next year. That is a year of building yourself, a year of learning, a year of improving, a year of adding more qualification, personal development, and so on and so forth to look forward to the next year's opening cycle. So whatever happens, just know that you're valued, you're worth it, and your yes will come. Some people that have gotten it, they're not better than you. It just was their time. They did things right, and they managed to get it, and it will reach your turn. So if you need any help or support, please do reach out. Gerald is happy to help. I'm also here to help. There are so many people out there, and usually what I do is, if I have people in my network or my connection that are more capable of giving you specific help, I will 100% ask them. And then if they're willing or if they're available, they would help. US, I'm not, I know the general ideas and information, but there are people in the US that have gone through the US system that can help. Canada and so on and so forth. So this is where the tailored mentorship or help comes in. But again, if you don't reach out, we wouldn't know. So don't do it alone. Ask for the help and we'll be able to. So thank you all very much. I don't know where you're listening to us from. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Thank you very much for staying with us. If you want to have the recap, please do check our YouTube page out. If you've not subscribed yet, please do subscribe. There's loads of information on there, especially with other scholarship. Germany, UK, US, Canada, they're all on there. Japan as well. So please do follow. Look out for AAA as well. If you want any volunteering experience, please do reach out. Um, if you're looking to support, please do reach out. Look on our website and then reach out for partnership and collaboration. We'll be willing to do that. So, Gerald, once again, thank you very much. Your journey is not just impressive; it's also inspiring. Thanks for sharing your evening with us and sharing your story with us. We wish you all the best in your dissertation, and also, we look forward to your graduation. We'll be here to cheer you on and celebrate you. Are you looking to do a PhD after this?
yes, definitely.
We wish you all the best in that as well. And hopefully,
Thank
the
you.
next time I have you on the program, it will be to talk about your PhD journey.
Yes, definitely.
Good. So, thank you very much. Enjoy your weekend and stay safe. It's bye bye for now.
Bye bye. Cheers.
Bye.